Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel, and today we are going to discuss the Women's World Cup so far. And as you can see, I'm not joined by Amy, I'm joined by Chris Coughlin, who some of you might have seen before if you've been watching our podcast for a couple of months now, but if you haven't, you do loads of things for BBC Radio and all of the type of things. What do you do?
Radio Merseyside, WSL.
Yeah.
So at the moment, obviously, watching the World Cup, taking a bit of a break, obviously, from WSL until the new season starts. But at the moment, producing shows at Radio Merseyside, both sport and general stuff at the moment, while the men's season is going through the summer, obviously. And then when it gets back, I'll probably work on more sport. But just general producing at the moment.
Yeah, sounds fun, to be honest.
It is good. It's experience, media experience, and it's fantastic, really.
Yeah, and if you're probably confused as to why we're sitting in this setup, it's because originally I was going to do this video in the podcast section, but then I changed my mind like literally 30 seconds before I did the intro. So it's going to be a separate video to the podcast, but it's in the podcast setup.
It literally was 30 seconds.
It literally was 30 seconds ago, so apologies for not being in the usual World Cup stuff, but we will be for another video. That'll be out tomorrow or Friday, probably tomorrow, But we've had a number of fixtures so far. It's too many to count. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 fixtures so far. I'll quickly run through the scores. If you're not bothered, then skip like 30 seconds ahead. So France played South Korea and won 4-0. Germany played China. Germany won 1-0. Spain, South Africa. Spain won 3-1. Norway, Nigeria. Norway won 3-0. Australia, Italy. Italy won 2-1. Brazil, Jamaica. Brazil won 3-0. England, Scotland. England won 2-1. Argentina, Japan was 0-0. Canada, Cameroon was 1-0 Canada. Chile, Sweden was 2-0 to Sweden. Netherlands, New Zealand finished 1-0 to the Dutch. And United States battered Thailand 13-0.
Understatement.
Battered was an understatement. That was the most bizarre game I've ever watched, but also the most entertaining of the World Cup so far, I think.
Yeah.
Like, everyone expected USA to win. 100%, but then you didn't expect them to win at the magnitude that they did.
I said before the game, I'd probably expect, if I was being brutally honest, I expected 8. Probably. Yeah. To be honest with you. 13 was extraordinary.
Yeah.
Really.
Well, when it was mentioned that I think the most goals scored was 12, am I right in saying?
Yeah, because Morgan's 5th was the record equaler, I think.
Yeah, so it was 12-0 was the highest scored in Women's World Cup match, and I was like, well, they're going to win it, because there was still like 10 minutes left. There was still 10 minutes left, and I was like, well, they're going to score at least another one in between in these next 10 minutes plus extra time, and they did. They ended up getting the 13th goal, but it was just bizarre. It was like, absolutely crazy.
There was a spell as well, four goals in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And
I did see, now, this is what I went at half time. I was like, I hadn't had any tea. And it was like, what, 9 o'clock?
Okay.
8:45.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm not going to lie, I'd been asleep for about 4 hours. I woke up like 5 minutes before the USA game kicked off. And I was like, I'm going to get a Happy Meal. I'm going to get one. And it was half time. And I was like, I'll be back before the first half, the second half starts. Well, I wasn't. I came back in and it was 7-0. And I was like, I'm pretty sure it was only 3-0 when I left. And how is it 7? And it wasn't even that long gone in the second half, and it was
absolutely destructive. Like Alex Morgan before the start of the tournament, I think it's fair to say a lot of people probably would have put money on her being top scorer.
Yeah.
And I remember Rich, who you had on the show. Was it last week?
Last
week.
I think the video went up last week. Yeah.
He tweeted the first day of the World Cup that. Renard was 100 to 1 to be top scorer. Yeah. I think Morgan was probably considerably shorter odds. Yeah. But nevertheless, from the USA, you probably take a few angles from it. Because after the French won 4-0, I probably expected goals to flow a bit more than they would throughout the first round of fixtures. Looking at the results just then when you're reading them out, I have to say maybe I've done it a bit of a disservice myself, to be honest with you, because there's been almost more goals than I can.
Yeah,
it feels like
probably Then you think, I agree with that.
But the USA last night just kind of, cause Alex Scott rather. She said that she was talking to the USA girls, and she said that they were just itching, raring to get going.
Yeah, they just wanted to play their game, didn't they? Because they were the very last match, so they'd waited like 5 days longer than everyone else to play their game, and like for someone as a magnitude of that team to be the last, they sort of went out with a bang with the first round of fixtures. Really, it was probably a good thing that they were last.
It's probably like letting their frustration out. Yeah. I do feel sorry for Thailand. It's never good especially when you're on a world stage. Never good to be on the end of a 13-0 drubbing. But I think you have to look at it a few angles. I think I saw Amy say on Twitter, a lot of the Thailand players are part-time as well.
Semi-pro, and I'm pretty sure like the backroom staff will all be there. That's not their full-time job either. Do you know what I mean? So
you have to give credit to them for reaching this stage, 100%.
Yeah.
But from the USA, I think I would have thrown criticism at them if they hadn't continued to be clinical as they were.
They probably would have received a lot more criticism if it was saved they only won 2-0.
Yeah.
If they only won 2-0, everyone would be like, "Are you messing? It's Thailand. Like, what are you doing?" But then, like,
if they'd have won 2-0, you'd have had the likes of France, Brazil, maybe even England, Japan, absolutely licking their lips at the thought of USA only
beating Thailand.
I know a lot of teams warm up in tournaments, but that would have been a weird kind of message to send out. Well, I say send out, would have been a weird kind of message for the other favourites in the tournament to think, how are the USA only beating a nation 2-0 that they would expect, that a lot of other teams in the tournament would expect to do well. So overall, as you say, fantastic performance from the USA, and I would have been more disappointed to see them take it easy.
Yeah.
I think the goalkeeper for Thailand probably will have a sore head in the morning, to be honest with you.
I felt so sorry for some of them because some of them were proper crying at full time, and I was like, that's how much it means to them. They're like, that's like they played the best that they possibly could in that game, and you can't say they didn't, because like we said, semi-professional, like the first major tournament for a lot of the players, and like they've just been battered by USA, and it's like they probably felt more embarrassed than anything, because obviously, like nationwide, people are watching it. People in Thailand will be watching it. You could see the amount of fans that they had there as well. Like they had a strong group of people there, like supporting them, and it's just like
little girl crying in the stands as well, wasn't it? It's just, it is difficult. It is difficult to watch. I think from both a neutral perspective and, from a neutral perspective, I always like the kind of underdog to at least have a chance, albeit against one of the best team, if not the best team at the moment. I mean, for you, how do we take this with regards to look at those different factors, saying that Thailand are part-time, saying the USA would have an easier ride, or would have an easy ride against other nations? How do you view last night's result?
It's difficult because you can see the levels of teams in this World Cup, and you can see the gap between teams, and last night proved it. And last night there was a lot of stick for a group of the Thailand players, but also for the USA players as well. But it was like every single one of these teams have deserved to be here because they are here. But in order for it to be a competition, something needs to change.
I was wondering this last night when I saw Amy say about them being part-time, and I don't know whether this is kind of elitist view, and the viewers, please let us know with your thoughts.
Yeah, definitely.
Semi-professional teams at World Cups, especially when you have so many other top quality full-time professionals. Yeah. Is that right? Do you get where I'm coming from?
I do. I do.
If we want women's football to continue to improve and continue to get more recognition, and we're looking for things to be taken seriously, full credit to America, full credit to USA for achieving the result that they did. Yeah. But could you argue that there needs to be more done for more full-time to make sure that they're all full-time, to almost I don't want to take anything away from attacking football. I love football. I want to see goals scored, but you also want to see competitiveness.
Yeah.
And you get where I'm coming from.
I do. I see exactly where you're coming from, and I thought it myself last night. 'Cause it's like you knew before the game. My dad was like, "Oh, I didn't even know Thailand women like had a team, like that was a thing, like no, not even that they're here." And like we were both watching it, and he was like, "This is terrible." More because of just how many goals scored. He doesn't say in the game itself was terrible. It was just like, he was like, the fact that they've conceded so many, and they're this is the World Cup opener.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like you're so far along in the tournament and the players are tired, and they've had like they've just about scraped getting through rounds and stuff like that. It's like the World Cup opener, and it was 13-0, and it's like you do wonder, how did you get here?
Yeah. Okay. There's nations in, say, European qualifying that are part-time, but they're never likely to reach that. I think the route that Thailand have gone makes it more likely for them to reach this tournament.
Yeah.
But watching it, it was. I'm not trying to be.
It's hard to
I'm not trying to take anything away from the USA.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think of ways to add more to the spectacle.
Yeah. No, that's a great way to put it. Yeah, because on the other hand, you look at the USA performance and they were all over them. They were dominant in every part of the pitch, and like for most of them, it was their first World Cup, their first tournament, and a few of them scored as well.
And when you consider some of them like Morgan at Orlando, who have had a shocking season, can just turn up and score 5.
Yeah, exactly. It's almost like she's made for the big stage.
Yeah.
She's made for a World Cup.
Yeah.
You could see it in the last one. Same with Carly Lloyd, they're made for those type of atmospheres and like whatever competitions. But then put Alex Morgan in an Orlando Pride shirt and she's not the same person. It's like how's that work?
I mean, just a quick bit on Orlando, because I know Mark Skinner's gone over there, and I talked to Mark earlier this season, and he was doing fantastically at Birmingham, and I think he's a good manager. In your view, what's going on?
I think it's weird. It's one of them. American football is so much different to the way the WSL is played, and it's so much more hyped over there that I feel like sometimes they just enjoy the atmosphere of a game rather than the football itself that's being played. And I think there's so much pressure on teams to do well over there that it puts added pressure on managers and players to perform at the highest level every single time. But then you see players like Jodie Taylor and Rachel Daly over there who are absolutely flying and are doing amazingly, and you think, well, how is that team doing that, but that team's not doing that? And you've got a World Cup winning Alex Morgan playing up front for you, but then you've got Rachel Daly who's, hasn't won the World Cup and isn't at Alex Morgan's level, but yet she's flying on all cylinders. It's weird. I think it's hard to pinpoint one exact reason as to why, and maybe for the manager it's just one of them, like he went sick. He's only 6 months down the line, 7 months down the line.
Because I was surprised when I heard, obviously, the lure of American women's football. It is a big one.
Yeah, it is big.
But I was still surprised considering how good a job he was doing at Birmingham, really.
Yeah, I think you've also got to think of the lifestyle that he's living.
Must be nice.
In Orlando, do you know what I mean?
Must be nice.
He's not living in Birmingham.
Wouldn't have the rain
anymore.
like we do here.
Exactly. It's June and it's lashing it down.
Or the rain in where was Sweden Chile played yesterday.
Yeah, exactly.
Thunder and lightning even.
Thunder and lightning, exactly. And it's June, and then you're looking over in Orlando, and it's like highs of 35, and you're like, yeah.
That is nice.
You can understand why.
I don't blame him whatsoever.
Yeah, but other games then. Out of all the other ones played, maybe we'll disregard England as well because you don't want to be biased.
Yeah.
If you could pick one of them to watch again, which one would you pick?
This might be slightly.
Oh, you're not going to say Japan?
No. Because tell me what you think of this. I would argue, and this is a serious argument.
Okay.
America and all they did last night, all the goals they scored last night, I would argue Italy was a better performance.
Yeah, okay.
Because watching that, considering how much I'd heard about Australia, I know Italy aren't a bad team.
Yeah.
But the hype that I'd seen from Australia, Sam Kerr, the goals that she's scoring.
I'd hyped to myself.
She's the absolute star of that Australia team. And Italy could and maybe should have won by 3 or 4.
I think what Australia lack is a solid defence.
Yeah, the second goal proved that.
They make up for that in having Sam Kerr up front. Because, I mean, obviously she got lucky with the penalty. She scored the rebound, like, do you know what I mean? But their defence is so lacking. And I think that's what, now seeing them play, like last week when me and Amy did our, like, predictions video, or 2 weeks ago, whatever it was. And, like, you know, we did Australia as the surprise, like, they might go to, like, the quarterfinals. Now, having seen them play, I was so wrong in what I was saying, because they're not the team that you think they are, but because there's so much hype around just one player, which is Sam Kerr, and everyone thinks that she can carry that team to a quarter-final or even the round of 16, even out the group stages, you're thinking, I can't see it happening. And Italy, you know, being in the World Cup, and they're getting the 2 goals the way they did, and especially the last one in the dying moments of the game, like, that's sort of what you want from a World Cup. You want it's as heartbreaking as it was for Australia.
That's the kind of spectacle we wanted.
Exactly. You don't want to be watching your 13-0 where the 7th or the 8th goal goes in, and you're like, well, all right. Yeah. Sounds like, you already know they've won at half time, so you already knew it. Yeah. But you want that one where it's like the dying seconds of a game and someone scores, and you can see how much it means to the player.
It's funny that you mention Australia's defence as well, really, because when Barbara Bonassea scored their first goal, that was arguably Australia's most comfortable period of the entire game. Next, goalkeeper rolls the ball out, woeful touch, Bonassea in, dribbles past the defender, slots the bottom corner, and all of a sudden then, for the rest of the game, it is complete panic stations from Australia. Yeah. And I know they had a few goals ruled out, rightly, but even so, I don't think that should take away from the performance, considering that they did perform a lot better than I thought. Yeah. And then the goal to win it, just, again, calamitous defending, which highlights your point that Australia, whilst they have got sensational forward, if you haven't got a good defence, you see it in all forms of the game, you will not win things.
Take Sam Kerr out that team.
Would they have qualified?
Yeah, exactly. That's the question. You
legitimate
don't know.
Question.
Yeah, you genuinely don't know.
So I thought Italy were fantastic.
One game I want to highlight, Netherlands.
Yeah.
I thought that was a poor performance, considering.
When you look at how star-studded that team is.
That starting 11 was unbelievable.
Myanmar, Van der Donk,
Mertens,
Van der Sanden.
Bloodworth, all
Mertens, for me, I think she's a fantastic player. I think Barcelona, if they are to continue to grow as a club, they need to focus on her massively. But when you look at the performance as a whole, because New Zealand, they'll
stay at the bar and everything.
They'll thought, how didn't they win that, really? And it's such an awful goal to concede, really, because the ball in, they've just dropped far too deep, allowed 2 free headers, and there's nothing they can do once the second header's won. It's in the back of the net. Did they deserve it? No. No. Not at all. I think
if that game would have finished 0-0, you can say, that's fair. Fair for both teams. Maybe not. I mean, I was hoping New Zealand might pinch them at one point.
Get rid of the good teams.
Yeah, but it makes it more exciting, because look at Croatia at the Men's World Cup. No one expected them to get to the final, and it was more exciting to watch their games, because it's like, how are they going to do? Yeah. And I feel like this is a World Cup for an underdog like New Zealand to be able to go further in a competition, because if it's just us, France,
France,
Netherlands,
for me,
USA in the Final Four or something, it's like, well, you could have predicted that at the beginning.
I was impressed by France, I have to say. Just how dominant they were. They took a while to get into the game in terms of getting flow and everything, but once they did, there was no stopping them with that. Germany was very similar, I thought, to the Netherlands in that extremely disappointing. Fantastic goal to win it.
Yeah.
But again, a team that... How many nations do we see grow into campaigns, grow into World Cups, grow into tournaments? And Germany, apart from maybe Russia last summer, you look at Germany, you always kind of feel, no matter how they perform...
They're always going to get something, aren't they?
They'll motor through.
Yeah.
And I think overall, it is controversial, but I would say Italy. I loved the way that they just took the game to Australia, because they kind of think, well, everyone's talking about them, no one's talking about us.
Yeah.
We'll show them up.
Yeah.
And fair play to them. They did absolutely fantastically.
Yeah. I can't really pick one, like...
In terms of one game in particular?
In terms of one game in particular, I'd watch again, because I didn't watch France versus South Korea because that was my birthday, so I was out. The whole of Saturday was written off because I was out.
Hangover.
Yeah. The only game I remember watching is Canada-Cameroon that I can properly picture like a match.
If there was a performance of one player, we'll exclude the USA because 5-goal Alex Morgan kind of takes the show. But if you could say one player that you want to watch back.
It probably would be the Italy one.
Yeah, Barbara would want to say
especially just the last 15 minutes, I think. It
was a blitz.
Yeah.
It was an absolute blitz.
Yeah.
And that, fair play to them. As I say, you just get a country, every single tournament, men or women, that decide just to take it to people.
Yeah.
And they've got a fantastic chance of winning, getting through to the next round, rather. But this has literally just popped into my head. Because of how I feel some games have gone and how slow the gameplay has been at times.
Yeah.
Because if you kind of look back to Euro 2016 and the whole third place qualification thing, I think a lot of teams use that as a safety net.
Yeah.
Where it might not be the best route because you could come up against a very strong team in the round of 16, but I still feel that some of these teams have kind of looked at that third place qualification and gone, we've got a safety net, even if we draw maybe 2 games, we'll probably get through.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably, when you look at the likes of China and maybe, who else? When you look at Argentina, I mean, Argentina now are in a fantastic position.
Yeah, in a brilliant
even
position. If they get a result against us on Friday,
don't tempt fate.
Don't tempt fate, because I'd absolutely fume. But you could see how much it meant to their players.
Oh yeah.
Like they were hugging each other at the end, like they just got to a final or whatever. But like they beat Japan, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the last they got beaten the last final, won it in 2011.
Yeah, 2011 in Germany.
Yeah. So like a team like Japan, who are so high regarded and are favourites as well, to get a point against them in your first game in a World Cup,
poor, but Argentina defended fantastically.
Yeah. But we'll run through the way the groups sit now then. So Group A, France, Norway, Nigeria, South Korea. France sit top with 3 points, but Norway have 3 points as well, but France are ahead on goal difference. Nigeria, South Korea, 0 points. Wouldn't really.
No, and again, that's what I mean. When you look at South Korea, when we look at Nigeria, when we look at these kind of teams, they're aiming for that third place.
Yeah.
Which could actually make the games between the bottom 2 in the tournament and in the groups more exciting because of that, because they know there's something to aim for from them.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Group B is made up of Spain, Germany, China and South Africa. Spain and Germany sit top on 3 points. Again, Spain ahead on goal difference, same as France and Norway. Maybe you can't argue with that. Maybe I expected a bit more from China in their game.
Considering how sloppy Germany were, I thought China had, because when you remember how many chances they had in that first half, I thought that was. I've been watching women's football for over a decade. That was the worst I've ever seen Germany play.
Really?
That first half.
Really?
I know.
There's so much hype around the team as well.
I know there's a bit of transition. I know there's some young players like Julia Gwynn obviously got the winner.
Yeah.
But that was the worst I've ever seen Germany play, that first half. I thought they were absolutely shocking.
Yeah, that's a fair point. Group C is Brazil, Italy, Australia, Jamaica. Brazil and Italy tied at the top again with 3 points. Brazil ahead on goal difference.
Word on Christian, by the way.
Yeah, go
34 years old, scoring World Cup hat-tricks, not bad, is it?
But yeah, it's mad, isn't it? It's the same with like Kyle Lloyd scoring last night, 36. Same with Rapinoe, she scored as well.
You could tell, even though it was the 13th, you could tell how much it meant to her just to get on that scoreboard.
I think towards the end as well, they were sort of making it so that she'd score as well, because it's probably is our last major tournament. Yeah. I mean, it definitely is, unless she wants to be like Marta and she's playing.
For me,
she could be. Do you know what I mean?
But for me, 41.
41, Is this? Am I right in saying it's her 7th World Cup?
Yeah. Record.
7 World Cups.
She's a spring chicken, Charlie Lloyd.
I know.
Carly Lloyd.
How has she been around for 7 World Cups though?
Takes dedication. Fantastic effort.
I wish. Group D: England, Argentina, Japan, Scotland. England flying the flag at the top of the table there. Argentina sitting second with 1 point. Japan with 1 point, so Scotland 0. Group E: Netherlands, Canada, New Zealand, Cameroon. Netherlands and Canada joint on goal difference as well. New Zealand, Cameroon 0 points, which again, I expected.
I wouldn't expect anything different from there.
Yeah.
Canada, I'm expecting them to probably push on a bit.
Yeah, I thought better of Canada. I was hoping for a better game.
Yeah.
Because I do like the Canada side. They are full of talent, but
when you see how close Christine Sinclair is to the record as well.
Yeah, she's got to get it. She's only 4 away, isn't she?
Yeah.
She's got to get it.
She will have chances. I thought she was going to get plenty of chances against Cameroon, to be honest with you, but they were much more dogged than I thought they'd be.
Yeah. And then finally, Group F: USA, Sweden, Chile, and Thailand. USA and Sweden tied at the top, but obviously United States have got 13 goals last night, so they're sitting comfortably at the top with their goal difference. But yeah, that's pretty much all the fixtures from the weekend. We could go into detail about every single game, but you'd be here for absolutely ages. And I don't think anyone wants to watch that as much as you love it.
Please?
I know, yeah, literally. Get yourself a cup of tea. We'll be sitting here. But yeah, no, that's the World Cup roundup done for the first round of fixtures, which is mad. I feel like it went really quick.
It has flown already. And as I say, looking at the results on paper, it's been more eventful than I arguably give credit for.
I mean, you definitely weren't expecting 13-0 or, Italy to get the last-minute goal.
I think they're going to flow now. I do think they're going to flow.
I think it's going to be a lot more interesting. Just to run through the games that are happening today, which is Tuesday. Is it Wednesday?
It's Wednesday.
It's Wednesday. I thought it was Tuesday. Never mind. It's Wednesday. Nigeria plays South Korea at 2:00, so in 40 minutes I'll be having a watch of that upstairs. Germany play Spain at 5, and then France play Norway at 8. So, predictions?
So what the first one was?
It was Nigeria, South Korea.
Nigeria, South Korea.
I'm going to go draw, 1-1.
I wasn't particularly impressed by either.
No.
To be honest with you. And a draw, if the two bottom teams in a group draw, that's a killer.
Yeah.
That is a killer for any sort of third place qualification. So as I say, I wasn't particularly impressed by either. I'll go for a draw there.
Yeah. Germany, Spain.
That is an interesting one.
It is an interesting one,
because
considering
if Spain win that throws that
they're through. Then if Spain win, aren't they?
Throws it wide open, because I think then if a team like Germany was to finish second, that would just be huge in terms of going through to the next round.
Yeah.
And potentially two very good teams come up against each other in the round of 16. I don't know why I can't not back Germany. There's
it's just one of them.
About
you're just not going to be surprised.
Yeah, and Pop's got to turn up.
Yeah.
Soon.
Yeah.
Because again, she was particularly disappointing, but I think I'm going to go for Germany just.
Okay. I'm gonna go the opposite. I'm gonna go for Spain.
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking in their heads, they're thinking, we win today, we're through.
Yeah.
And they're gonna look at that Germany performance and see, well, if
I think there's a lot for Spain to have a go at. There's a lot.
100%. And it's, they scored 3 goals the other night, so they can score. So yeah, I'm gonna go for Spain in that one, and then France versus Norway. It's an interesting one as well, because obviously both got off to winning ways.
Norway performed a lot better than I thought they would, considering the absence of a certain
the
Mrs.
world's best player,
Ada Hegerberg.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we could do an entire podcast on why
her.
she's not at the tournament, but I will go for France.
A lot of political reasons and all that. Yeah.
I will go for France.
Yeah, I'm going to go for France as well.
They impressed me. And when you've got someone like Le Sommer. Although I think I read Le Sommer and Renard are actually doubts for the game.
Oh, really?
So if they don't play, Norway
that
could very much have a go.
Yeah, that's very true.
I definitely read Renard's a doubt. 100% read that.
I did it as me one to watch for France this World Cup, and then she scored 2 in the opening game, and I was like, yes.
We have an oracle right here, ladies and gentlemen.
I can predict the future. But yeah, no. Well, that's all that we can discuss. Me and Amy should be back for the next one. The next game of Fixtures, like it's the second round of Fixtures, end next Monday. So I'm pretty sure Amy's back on Tuesday. So it will be me and Amy doing this, probably upstairs. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, thank you for watching.
It is what it is.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. We're going to film the podcast pretty much straight after this. So that should be either out already or going out after this video, or they might go up at the same time. Depends how quick I edit them both. But yeah, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And I'll see you next week.